Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Cult Classic Podcast. Cameron Jones here, along with my co-host,
Mark Nussle.
Jordan Jones.
We've been trying to keep it folly, had it back to school for you. This is a kind of a movie of all seasons, I would say, but
it's a 4-season movie.
Classic us, we're keeping it in the 90s. It's the 1998 film, You've Got Mail. Corporate bookstore owner Joe Fox and boutique bookstore owner Kathleen Kelly are at war, fighting for customers, and in Kathleen's case, to keep the doors open to her late mother's store. Despite having a contentious relationship, when they anonymously meet in an online chat room, it turns out they have a lot in common and an undeniable connection. With both unknowingly falling for each other, will they be able to reconcile their differences when faced with the truth, or will the past pull them apart? Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks star in You've Got Mail.
A lot of the times I think we add some witty thing, but your summarization really nailed it.
I mean, you know who Tom Hanks is, you know who Meg Ryan is. It's a 90s rom-com.
Directed by Nora Ephron. Starring Tom Hanks, Meg Ryan, Greg Kinnear, Parker Posey, Steve Zahn, and Heather Burns.
Also, this movie is just one of those movies that highly features New York. That's the main character of this.
You like Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks and Joe and the Volcano. You love Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks in Sleepless in Seattle. Then you're gonna love him in You've Got Mail.
I would maybe a little less, but
yeah, I would argue
like
this
is... see, there's the argument.
You've Got Mail.
Cast and crew. This film is directed by Nora Ephron. She also directed Sleepless in Seattle, Bewitched, the movie, Julie and Julia. And she was also the writer on When Harry Met Sally, another Meg Ryan.
Okay, so 90s rom-com expert. So you know what you're getting here. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
I actually found it funny that she also did Sleepless in Seattle, because you don't really see that too often where they keep the
whole
two
company.
leads, the director does the same leads. Maybe in Adam Sandler. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan are the stars of this. You probably have seen them before.
I don't think we've ever featured either of them, though, on an episode.
We've done Big.
Yeah, we have.
We've done Big, but we haven't done Meg Ryan.
We've done Big. We've done The Burbs.
Oh, shit.
We've done Top Gun.
I guess we've done both of them.
We also did A League of Their Own.
Yeah.
I guess we've done a decent amount of Tom Hanks, but in a dash of Meg Ryan. You know who they are, though. Meg Ryan, just iconic, more so in the 90s. Tom Hanks, still doing it.
I know Mark's really excited to do In the Cut, that one where Meg Ryan's nude a bunch.
Don't even know what you're talking about.
I told you that in Confidant.
Oh, I apologize. I digress. Yeah, so we go back and check out our episodes on Tom Hanks.
Greg Kinnear plays Frank, Meg Ryan's sort of asshole-ish boyfriend. I don't know.
He usually kind of plays that character in most roles, though. So it's your familiar Greg Kinnear role.
He plays the tool, but you know what's a sneaky Greg Kinnear role? And I wouldn't go back and see it in this day and age because there's so much content. They did a TV miniseries on the Kennedys, and he played John F. Kennedy, and it wasn't that bad.
He played John F. Kennedy?
He played John F. Kennedy.
Well.
And I know what you're thinking. How's that play? Kind of like Greg Kinnear going, what's but it wasn't too bad. It wasn't that bad.
Parker Posey's in this film. She plays Patricia, Tom Hanks's significant other for the first half of the movie.
We see a lot of my recasting, but we've done Waiting for God. Well, we've done some of the Christopher Guest movies.
Best in Show?
I don't know what. I guess maybe we just did Dazed and Confused, and maybe other things
which
she was in.
Probably isn't online anymore because that was our
first one. We did Dazed and Confused, and then we have a lot of movies that she belongs in.
Yeah, I think that's.
But were made 20 years before her acting career.
I think that's kind of more of what we've been hitting from her, not like the things
we did, like Spinal Tap. We did Clue. We did a lot of those ensemble pieces where Cameron, I think rightfully so, cast Parker Posey.
Sure did.
Jean Stapleton, I have to mention, she plays Birdie Conrad. I don't know her for much, but she's got a bigger role in this movie, so she's at least to be mentioned. Steve Zahn plays George, one of the bookshop workers.
He's popped up definitely in
That Thing You
Do. Jesus.
Looks like Lenny's going fishing.
He's a character actor that pops up in a lot.
Yeah. Heather Burns, she plays another young bookshop worker. Christina.
Miss Congeniality, I believe.
I saw that she's like Miss Rhode Island or whatever in that movie.
It was bugging me all movie. Then midway through this, I was like,
describe your perfect date. I'd say April 24th because it's not too hot and it's not too cold. There you go. We could pivot to that one right now if we want.
Dave Chappelle is in this sneakily. He's the best friend of, I'd say he's the best friend of Tom Hanks.
He's not in it much, but he is his best friend technically, I guess, or business partner at least.
Yeah, I'd say, business partner / acquaintance friend.
And then the last two I feel like I should mention are Dabney Coleman and John Randolph. They're the father and grandfather of Tom Hanks.
The grandfather's familiar as his grandfather and something else, but
he's
I couldn't
in
quite
Christmas
remember.
Vacation. I think.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, he's
Clark
the
Senior.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
there we go. That was it. Thanks, buddy.
So,
not a huge cast in this one. It's actually pretty tight knit.
did you just buddy me, buddy?
Yeah, buddy. And for the most part, people we kind of know.
Yeah, it's a tight cast.
Should we move it on to Unverified?
Let's move on.
Unverified.
Welcome to the Cult Classic Movie Phone. It's December 1998, and currently in theaters, you could have seen Patch Adams, which we'll do someday. The Faculty, which we've already done. Go back and check out that episode. Mighty Joe Young, which Mark talks about a lot.
No, I
Kind of.
Yeah.
Shakespeare in Love, which we might
Kelly's
get to
Throne.
also at some point.
Oscar Best Film, Shakespeare in Love.
True.
Academy Award winner of Best Film, Shakespeare in Love.
Very true.
Can I just say I haven't seen Mighty Joe Young since I was 12, and I don't know how the CGI holds up. There has to be a lot of it.
Not great, I imagine.
Mark, I can tell you right now, not great.
Not great.
Probably not as good as you remember.
Okay, sure.
Shout out to the Joneses, Star Trek Insurrection, Jack Frost with our boy
that had to have
Michael
made it
Keaton,
into
Jack Frost?
yeah,
like a
Michael
porn
Keaton, Jack Frost.
erection. I don't know. There's a joke there.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some sort of offhand of it. And finally, the Psycho remake was in '98, December that year. But you chose You've Got Mail, and I think
That was your best one. That was your best.
It might have been, but honestly, that's a pretty good list. Oh, I also missed the Prince of Egypt. Sorry, that was in there.
You guys are sneaky Prince of Egypt fans, right?
I'll tell you what. I'm
98
going to Mighty Joe Young, buying another large popcorn, sneaking into the Prince of Egypt.
I'll tell you what,
Now we're
I
talking.
think I enjoy The Faculty the most out of that, but I probably wanted to also see Mighty Joe Young the most at the time. I would imagine.
We were definitely in the demographic that they were making Mighty Joe Young for.
So what are some of your facts on this one?
This is a remake or reimagination of the 1940 film starring Jamie Stewart and Margaret Sullivan, The Shop Around the Corner.
Well, actually, it goes back even further in this. I'm not going to be able to pronounce this, but the original source material for this plot is the 1937 play.
Jean Telemoulin.
I can't even say it, but the English title is Parfumere. It's a Hungarian thing, so even the translation's hard.
The movie Shop Around the Corner is set in Budapest, even though if you saw it, you'd barely know.
People talk about like how they don't like the aspect of it being in like a New York, and they're doing like an online thing because it was so romantic doing the Budapest and it was actually writing letters and
but if you
all
did that in 1999, that ends with a murder.
Yeah.
Or murder. You can't be handwriting letters like that to a stranger.
So we brought up Dave Chappelle, but interestingly, he actually got this role because he turned down Forrest Gump. He was up for Bubba. He thought it was going to be a flop, so he pulled out. But he obviously felt terrible about it afterwards. But Tom Hanks always said, like, the next film, I'll hook you up and I'll give you a role. So this was just kind of like a consolation prize.
I believe Dave Chappelle.
what a not hookup though. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
I think though Dave Chappelle was on the records like I read the script and the part of Bubby's like, oh, that guy's gonna die. That motherfucker's gonna die. It's like, of course he is. It's like
He's right.
best. Yeah, and he wasn't wrong. You know, I'd say this is equally as significant of a role, right?
Yeah, the building manager in
no
like
name
a
best
rom-com. Yeah. I have a couple of funny tidbits. Not funny, just interesting. Meg Ryan got her first computer during filming.
Seems about right. 98. That adds up.
And Tom Hanks collects typewriters, just like the character Frank.
Oh, shit. I had it written down, and now I can't find it, but I had the exact prices of their computers at the time.
Oh, I bet they were
Tom
absurd.
Hanks's was about $5,400, and I'm pretty
Are
sure
you fucking serious?
and Meg Ryan's laptop was about $3,500, $4,000. Isn't that crazy?
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, I looked it up and I had the models written down too. But
because she was using they're like laptops.
Yeah, they were using
right?
laptops. Tom Hanks was like the best one at the time. Just obviously he was corporate, so that's why his was 5,000. But even her run of the mill model was like 3,400. Isn't that crazy?
Were desktops cheaper?
I don't.
The laptops? Oh yeah, back then, 100%.
Yeah,
Yeah, the portability. We weren't there yet with tech.
I wish I had that written down, but I did have the models and everything. But still, crazy expensive.
Listeners, if you're interested in movies based in New York and a bunch of New York facts, check it out. There's a bunch. We're not going to get to it. They filmed in a lot of New York locations.
You're saying just as far as like location stuff?
Yeah.
I got two for you then off there. They were the first film ever to be allowed to film inside the classic grocery store on Broadway, Zabar's. Or Zabar's, I don't know. I'm not from New York. I don't know.
Might be Zabar's.
And also the shop that the children's bookstore was filmed in was actually a cheese and antique shop.
Oh, I like this bit.
106 West 69th. The filmmakers wanted to use it because it had that antique look, obviously, but they sent the owners on vacation for a few weeks. They removed everything and they put it back in its original spot by the time the owners came back, as it was as if nothing happened.
Did they know they were doing it?
Nope, they just know. That'd be kind of funny. They Burt Wonderstoned him and just dragged him out.
Maya Shaper's Cheese and Antique Shop. Think about that.
Weird that it's cheese and antiques. That's the
they did both.
One or the other.
Well, yeah.
Okay, I got a question. Would you rather get cheese from your antique store or antiques from your cheese store? That's really the
antiques for my cheese store.
I think that's you want it to be cheese first and foremost.
Anything I'm putting in my body, I want that to be their specialty.
I want to go in for a nice rocking chair, then stumble upon cheese. I don't want a nice Gouda.
Oh, Mark, you're a Cracker Barrel trip away, I think.
Okay. I like this one. All of Joe and Kathleen's emails were put on the movie's official website, which Warner Brothers kept active until May 10th of 2018.
That's fun.
So
they're gone now, but
we grew up in the sweet spot of extra features on the DVD, just hours and hours of extras.
But just promotional marketing stuff, yeah.
Just before that, when the internet was new, every movie had a website, and it might still be in existence, and it would be weird to go through and just pick a movie, Armageddon.com, whatever. I bet
Godzilla 2000. I bet they have something pretty
Before
dope.
there was like Facebook.
You know what Godzilla
and
2000 doesn't have? They don't have Come With Me because it's copyright, because it uses Led Zeppelin. You can't get that P. Diddy remix anywhere. You got to buy it on like CDs.
This is kind of a fun one. So the movie where Greg Kinnear and Meg Ryan go to the theater for their date where they break up is the same movie theater actually where the previews for the movie theater were shown. So people seeing the movie were located inside the theater from that movie. And
wait, say that again?
So Cameron's saying, I'll try to summarize it. You know where Greg Kinnear and Meg Ryan break up?
Yeah.
So, in that actual theater is the first place they showed previews for the movie.
But that'd be fun, going to see a movie before it's out in the theater that's also featured in the movie. Kathleen and Joe were using an AOL software that actually wasn't out yet. It was still in beta testing, 4.0, but I believe it was out in time for, people to recognize it for the release.
I don't know if that's to be believed, because this... You mean this sound was in beta testing?
Yep.
I mean,
I know that you guys do a lot. Like Cameron's made the theme song, the trailers are nice, but that's a lot of production for a podcast for us. You can play that as many times as you want. I hope we don't have to pay somebody for that.
I only have
what
one
was
more
going
fact.
on in that sound? We were just connected. I just don't even know what that
Oh,
sound
we'll
is.
never know. It's like Transformers, how they can just do that and move things around. I'm sure I could have gone like beep beep and done something else.
Interesting.
This one's kind of interesting. Despite it mostly being autumn setting for the filming, it was shot in summer, so any of the green leaves you see on trees were digitally altered after for a more like seasonal orange red. But obviously they strewn like the dead leaves on the ground, but this seems early to be doing like digital color correction for like just tree leaves. Am I crazy?
Damn, that's crazy, because like they had a whole like Thanksgiving, fall, Halloween kind of
What a warm wardrobe to wear for a summer shoot. There are nothing but sweaters and suede coats.
Also,
holy shit.
I do love that it changes seasons, but like, was that such a pivotal part that they needed to like spend so much budget on that?
Well, when you got Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan, you can throw some shekels around. You're gonna make the return.
This one didn't have a bunch of facts.
Was it worth it? Probably not. No.
But if this one didn't have a ton of facts, but or at least that I found online. So if there's anything we're missing, make sure you hit us up on social media. But we're going to move it on to questions,
comments,
animosities.
Questions. welcome back.
Questions, comments. What do we got here?
Comment, and we already touched on it a bunch, but I love the old connecting to the internet noises and just the "you've got mail" and some of those just nostalgic early internet.
So
noises.
I never had AOL, but my mom did, and like I would legitimately hear that exact little prompt every time she'd open up her.
That's my only connection to it too. You're the only person I knew that had AOL. Our dad, for some reason, was early on to the internet and computers. So, like, I don't know.
What was he, a Yahoo guy? Seemed like a Yahoo guy.
We were definitely Yahoo. We didn't have the AOL subscription. We were like MSN Messenger, that type of stuff.
It seems like it's sort of regional. Yeah, MSN was our region.
You
were not cool if you had.
To me, AOL always felt like a big city place. AIM.
Oh, yeah, a lot of people use AIM.
Yeah, AIM, that's what it's
called. Which actually brings me up to my first question, kind of animosity. Sure. Do you feel weird about Tom Hanks meeting chicks at his age in chat rooms asking ASL and stuff?
It's the 90s,
yeah, it's
bro.
New,
it's pre-9/11,
stuff,
man.
But like,
the Twin Towers
not
are
1997. I'd say out of all the things that age, that's, now you would just get Catfish or it'd be like Bumble or Tinder.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we could. Should we just remake this as a horror story?
That's what it probably would be.
Actually, that's funny. I urge you both to check out, and anybody who's listening, there is, those redone trailers that
make it into horror.
Yeah.
There's one for this movie, and it's fucking spectacular.
I mean, this one writes itself. It's a scary movie.
There are a bunch of red flags.
He lives in a boat like a supervillain.
He makes all these excuses, never meets him. That's true. Let's see. He is just kind of a dick and a completely other person online. So also even just red flag.
He's gaslighting and he's manipulative.
He's
only gaslighting and manipulative for the last half of the movie. he's full-heartedly into it. The first half.
I kind of mentioned it, but I think this might be.
He doesn't know the entire time.
This might be one of Tom Hanks' least likable characters for me. Even counting characters he's supposed to be a villain, even then he's at least more charming.
Why do I remember this movie being way more charming?
Yeah,
when I was 15.
It is literally him just tearing her apart, ruining her business, ruining her family business, and then.
But hey, that's how you make love. That's how love happens.
Capitalism.
Like the end is a bit psychotic, kind of like what you're saying. He's just fucking with her head by as soon as he finds out what's going on, it becomes a weird head game.
So that's the real question.
Yeah, that's where it becomes creepy is when he knows and she doesn't, and he's still this could still go really bad for him at the end.
Yeah, when he comes over the hill, and even then he's playing head games with a dog and having that come first. She should have been like, "You've known for months. Why? You didn't say anything."
It's like Mrs. Doubtfire.
The whole time.
The whole time.
Yeah. So
exactly like Mrs. Doubtfire.
The real question is this. Okay. They're not going to last as a couple, we probably agree, and it's more that he's filthy rich and selfish and an asshole, and he's been single into his mid-40s.
Yeah, he's reverse Batmaning this, where he's only good in the shadows online, and then he's a bad person, not in real life.
He's a bad person the rest of the time. Aren't you so happy though that if this movie got made now, this man might be Me Too'd by now, especially the way he dates.
Funny enough, this movie does get made now, but it's a Barnes and Noble fighting against Amazon. Or even now, I think the small bookstores have kind of come back. Funny enough, so it'd still be just a bookstore versus Amazon.
The funny thing about this movie going into it, I'm like, oh, we're going to talk about the change in technology, how archaic this is. But really, the more I think about it, it's the brick and mortar store that kids aren't going to get someday. They'll get the internet because they'll get taught about that, but they're gonna. So people just went to stores to buy books.
Yeah.
And that's it?
Yeah, it is very special. Well, how about this? Reimagining a question for you. How do you feel about a movie that we set in the 2000s? We don't call it You've Got Mail, but it's the same premise, but it's a CD store fighting against downloading or streaming.
Record store or something.
Like that. Something similar, but...
So the Napster story?
Right. That's
Although I guess at this point, since this was a remaking of a remaking of a remaking and an adaptation, maybe we should just, I don't know, write something new, I guess.
Yeah, there's a couple things that'll never go out of style. You got this. We could probably throw in another Little Women in 10 years. You know what I mean? There's just some movies they just keep remaking. We're probably due for another Miracle on 34th
I mean, this
Street.
is loosely based off of what Shakespeare? I mean, kind of a little bit of...
Pride and Prejudice?
Yeah, it's a little Pride and Prejudice and a tiny bit of just Romeo and Juliet with the forbidden love thing, but more so the Pride...
You had a good point, though, Cameron. the silver lining is that Jeff Bezos is going to run Fox Books into the dirt.
Oh,
in
yeah.
10 years.
The crazy thing is,
it's
like,
over.
Fox Books is fucked.
Oh, yeah, they're done.
It actually probably ends with like 1929, October 31st or whatever. He's going to be in that boat. You're going to hear a gunshot and they'll be like, Brinkley. It's a sad ending. I didn't think this is where we were going to go with this one. I thought we were going to be like, man, isn't the chemistry palpable? Like, can't you feel it? Isn't it such a fun little cute movie? But you guys,
well, that's the weird thing about this movie is
not that
like,
cute.
in a lot of these early rom-coms, like there's just no chemistry until maybe the end, and I don't even really feel it there.
No,
they're kind of just
he
friends.
kind of just breaks into her
No, they
house
are just
when
friends.
she's like delirious and sick. Like that whole thing is weird.
Sick.
Like the fact that like he shows up out of the blue after destroying her, and then she's just so okay about that, and it's weird.
I get it that he's like trying to
Don't
make up
take
for it,
it
but it doesn't feel
personal.
like that. Like there's any connection.
No, at all.
Don't take a
Maybe
personal, Meg
connection
Ryan.
Right
He
before.
also destroyed about 7 coffee shops around the neighborhood
Yeah.
too, and they're not bitching about it.
You know, it's just
Sorry,
it's just
anyway.
so weird.
No.
Like her reaction, like even there's just no way she should or would ever forgive him.
You're forgetting one major aspect, that he's filthy rich.
Yeah, for 10 more
Yeah.
years, like you said, and then shit's going downhill.
Well, they don't know that. They don't have a crystal
That's
ball.
true.
If she
Yeah, but
did,
Mr.
she would have
Barnes
like
and Mr.
lowered
Noble,
the
I'm
prices
sure they're
of the
doing
book.
pretty well.
Funny enough, I think they actually did.
I actually heard Noble's doing pretty bad, but yeah, Barnes is doing
Barnes
great.
is fine.
He's great. Yeah, he got in on Amazon at a
Yeah,
in
he
the
got in on
90s.
Intel at 6.
Just comment. Did you guys notice how big Greg Kinnear's forehead seemed in this movie? I don't know if he's had hair plugs, but something about his
He's definitely had hair
something
plugs,
about his
yeah.
hairline in this was real bad, and it seemed like his forehead was a
it was
mile
a thick
high.
frame glasses for me.
Something about it was just real off about the shape of his head in this one.
I know that he's supposed to play annoying type characters, you know, a little toolish. This one worked for me though.
Yeah, because
I believe
it's
him in
not
it.
like over the top cheating. It's just kind of like
It's like
doofusy annoying. Not even that
yeah.
doofusy. I don't know. Just like it's a charming obnoxious instead of being just
Wait,
like a
sorry, you
dick.
said cheating, and it made me think.
does
Do you
kind
think what they're doing is
Oh, like emotional
like-
cheating versus actual
Yeah, the-
cheating.
like an affair?
Yeah, every character of the entire movie, everyone in any of these relationships is doing it.
That's why that's not like
Not Parker
charming
Posey.
either.
Yeah, not Parker
Like,
Posey, I guess.
Nobody's. Yeah,
She's not cheating on him, but she's just a
just
shallow.
worried about
Let's
herself.
talk about that breakup movie diner scene. That's so weird. After they're clearly about to break up, Greg Kinnear sits her down for a full-length meal. Like, what was the plan there? Like, that should have gone south
Cameron,
immediately, and then she would have walked. But
I'd say generally it's New York and apartments are small, but in movies they have giant apartments, so they could have gone home to it. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, can I talk about her apartment? There's no way that bookstore owner could have
No shot.
like a central
Not in
part.
Manhattan.
I think they
No
briefly
way.
mentioned
West Side or
about
She inherited
well,
or
yeah, because
something.
they talk about
They
George
did the
Allen.
Friends.
They talk about George how like he inherited in and he's only paying like $500 or something. And since it's her mom, she might have a similar situation. We can assume.
Well, Christina, Miss Rhode Island, was saying like she's got to find another part-time job to be able to afford rent where she lives. Like, no shot unless her parents are like feeding
Not
her
a chance.
money through the system. I don't know.
No, she's screwed.
As long as we are talking about living conditions, I'm mad jealous of a yacht type lower deck living style.
Yeah, that seemed pretty cushy. That wouldn't be too bad to like van life for a bit if you got kicked out.
Yeah, where like he just escaped and is like living in his
Yacht.
yeah,
that's not bad.
like that's not too bad.
Let's go back and think about
It's like
this
a
for
man
second,
cave
though.
that you could take for a ride.
Patricia, Patricia Birdie, she's really going to be the one hit hard here. I don't think she's worked anywhere but that bookstore, and she's like in her 70s now. What's she going to do?
It does not end well for her. It does
She's
not
at
end
Fox
well
Books.
for
She's
her.
across the street. She's at Fox.
Yeah, that's
Books.
true.
doing
She's
fine.
just working there till she dies, probably, or at least for 10 more years until it's an Amazon
Didn't
warehouse.
George go there? Didn't everybody just go there? George went there.
Did he?
Just everybody went to Fox Books, and then they realized the power of. They probably got paid more at Fox Books. They couldn't have been making.
And that would have been good for Fox
working
Books
at their
because
individual
clearly they had
level.
a staff that didn't know what they were talking about. So, like, win-win for Tom Hanks. Cool. He gets the girl, the business wins.
I do got to make a gripe towards small boutique places versus big box stores. Big box stores have seats, and that's nice.
Although,
little stores
as far
don't.
as working for, as long as you are getting paid and you're not worried about it going under, working for a small mom and pop is just great.
Little stores have nooks, Jordan. They've got one little nook. You can sit
they
in.
got a
That's
nook.
true.
They got a nook.
But you're not invited to sit
Hey,
there.
and-
Well,
it's
and it's
obviously meant
occupied
for
by
sitting.
somebody
Hey, but in
else.
summertime,
More
there's
exactly.
probably an outdoor patio.
Yeah, it's like, hey, do you guys serve sandwiches? We do. We do. We're out of what you want, but we do serve sandwiches. Yeah.
One other just like kind of
Okay, I gotta say, I do like though the Four Seasons aspect of this movie. I really enjoy it.
That's true.
I like that type of storytelling, like the span of a year. It breaks it up into your parts.
It feels mostly
You don't have to
fallish
say-
to me, but you definitely do get all the seasons.
Yeah, I'll agree with that, Cameron. You don't have to say like, you don't have to have like a title screen that says like 2 weeks later or something. You can kind of just tell
Yeah,
by
you know
it.
what's going on.
And
The
I
passage of
appreciate
time.
that.
But this gives me like mad fall feels, and what I don't even know if this is what New York is like, but this is how I saw it as a kid. You know what I mean? Like this, Big Daddy, Friends. This is television movie popcorn, New
This
York.
is 90s New York. Funny enough, I've had friends in the background all day while I'm
Great
working.
comparison. I love that.
Which I enjoy. You know, I'm nostalgic for something I never lived, but the depiction of it is what I like.
Okay, I have a slight animosity, and I know they met in the chat room, and sometimes they are instant messaging each other through AOL, but the back and forth that they are just emailing each other seems like it's a conversation, and it pisses me off. It's unrealistic. I get, again, sometimes they are like instant.
Wait, what do you mean? It seems.
It just seems like they're DMing, like for a lot of the movie, or like just texting
So
back and forth.
Cameron, it's really just short emails is what's actually happening versus instant messaging. Is that correct? What you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, they're making it seem like it's an instant message instead a lot of the
So
time.
Cameron's gripe would be if he worked for Saturday Night Live during
They'd be long paragraphs. Is
1997.
what you'd rather prefer to be the story about your week.
Well,
is
funny
what you're
enough,
saying?
and on top of that, I don't exactly get why they're falling for each other, because they're mostly just spewing their problems on each other without really listening.
Because it's lonely in New York
But they're
City,
not-
Cameron. It's depressing.
They're not really listening or responding to each other until Tom Hanks is finally like, "What can I do to help? I'm a businessman." But like that's like pretty deep into them messaging back and forth.
And clearly, like they can like be online at the same time and instant message. Why wouldn't one of the emails just be like, "Hey, let's hop online at 7 p.m. and talk about everything that's gone on during the week." Instead
we
of
should. By then, you know
just
the time.
missing each
Yeah,
other.
you know what's scheduled time by that point.
I would say that their communication, the actual messages, they probably don't have much chemistry. But when that friend courtship, there's chemistry there, and that's where their relationship builds.
Yeah,
I
but that's
think.
also when Tom Hanks already knows the truth and is playing head games and gaslighting.
You know, there's a song that sums this up. It's the Pina Colada song. It's very similar. It's like we're just lying to each other, and we're the only two dipshits that could find each other. This is the Pina Colada song. It's like,
what pina colada song?
if you like pina coladas,
Got it.
and getting caught in the rain. So I'll summarize that song. One of them puts out a personal ad. I think the wife. No, he puts out a personal ad, and she's the only dipshit that answers it. So they're both trying to cheat on each other.
What a fucking
And they ignore all of that because they learned that they both like pina coladas and adultery. They're not going to make it, just like these guys aren't going to make it. They're not destined, especially since Meg Ryan's character is about to work for him. I'm sure that'll be chill. Oh, here's an animosity, real quick animosity. This has been depicted in a bunch of movies. I don't like that wealthy families have their children sing around the piano for them and perform. I don't like
Meg
that
Ryan
at all.
did it too.
If I ever
Both
see that,
sides did a weird version of it.
no, that was homely. Everybody was doing it. It wasn't a bunch
Meg
of people
Ryan's
sitting.
side is a lot like Danish cult camp.
No, is it?
Is that true?
A lot of piano
You
singing?
guys sing?
That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna
All
say.
right.
Oh,
I'm not
you
gonna
know
pry,
the weird
but
folk songs that we've never heard of too.
Come on the kick drum, Gary.
Come.
Animosity. So they have just a media blitz at the store around the corner. So much publicity. They shouldn't have failed. If they failed, Meg Ryan messed something up.
I mean, they failed because they probably were going to fail anyway.
No,
You know
you're
what I
gonna
mean?
No, Cameron, you're gonna still go to Starbucks. You're not gonna go to Pete's.
Mark, we saw it full
Pete's
of people.
Coffee
There
down
was
the-
so much press. She was selling a lot. What was so wrong that their bookkeeper, fucking Birdie, was like, nothing's changed. We sold 200 books this week and we're still...
Well, it's because Dave didn't return his copy of Where the Red Fern Grows. That's why they're missing a lot of hardback copies.
This isn't a library, Mark. They should be keeping them. My God.
Okay.
But I'm just saying...
I mean, Shop Around the Corner wasn't going to make it eventually. If Fox Books is going down in 20 years, Shop Around the Corner didn't have much left. You know what I mean?
Fun though fact, I have read while doing some research for this that the actual vintage or like Shop Around the Corner bookstore has come back, whereas the Barnes and Noble and like what's the other one called? borders have failed. I don't exactly remember why, but it has something just to do with customer loyalty, like a record store that, now if you're not,
it's more niche, the way that like a movie rental store may come back.
Like you're not going to go to like a bookstore unless
it's like artisan. It's like,
it's artisan. It's a boutique.
So funny enough, she might be able to come back now.
What's kind of funny about our podcast? I think that we finally,
not you.
That's what the commenters say all the time. Jesus Christ, I get it. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just stupid and have bad thoughts and ideas. No, Dave Chappelle's. We've done like every Dave Chappelle movie now, kind of. We did Half Baked. We did Robin Hood Men in Tights. We've done this. We did Con Air. What else do we have left?
Touche.
Have we done every?
Literally, I did not remember him being in this movie.
Yeah, I totally forgot too.
That makes sense. I just knew he was in the movie, but you wouldn't remember it. You know what I mean?
I have a couple questions here. What were your guys' what was your first screen name back in the day?
I always kept it simple. I think I do Jordan Jones.
And Sons.
I was real into
I do J.M. Jones like 86.
I was real into Sharks at the time, so I'm pretty sure I'd like Mako Shark 60 at Hotmail and like.
See, that's cool. That's cool. J.M. Jones 86. That's like.
I wanted people to know who I was. You were a big dick swinger, 69, something like that?
Well, no, that's a different website.
It's a different website.
I'm not proud of mine. Cool Cat.
Do you want to know
Cool Cat.
What was it?
I'm not going to say it again.
Cameron, what was it?
You were
there
Cool
around
Cat
the time.
something. I forget the number.
It was Cool Cat 225.
Yeah, that's right. I still have my Hotmail.
It's a person that keeps trolling my Instagram account, so now I know who it is. I get real mean comments by Cool Cat 225.
That's still my burner. Yep. Just no chance Shop Girl, just straight up Shop Girl, was still available on AOL in like 98. No shot.
She was the first Shop Girl. What was Tom Hanks just giving his address?
Yes.
Yeah,
he didn't give his apartment number though, right?
That's J.M. Jones 86.
You got to know
the earliest form of that. It's like, here's where I am at online at .com.
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4. That's my password. It's just a
password. Is password. My only last animosity is a grammatical issue. I believe.
I'm excited about this.
I believe in the title of just the film is "You've Got Mail." You have got.
I was thinking about that.
Is that even right? Is that
I think
correct?
It should just be "You have mail."
That's what I said. I said there's just you've
received mail.
You have mail.
You got mail. You got mail.
You have got mail.
You got mail.
You have got mail.
You got mail.
You have mail.
You have
Doesn't
got
make
mail.
sense. I'm going to back you.
Take out
I
the
was
got.
funny enough doing that last night when I was watching. It was like, you've got mail. You have got mail. No.
You got mail.
If you have any comments, questions, and we missed out, make sure to hit us up. But we're going to move on to recasting. Recasting. How low did you guys go? Did you guys do Kevin, the Dave Chappelle character?
Yeah, but I went chalk, so I'll do it.
I didn't, but you said you went that low, so I came up with
Hannibal Buress.
I did
I
Hannibal
as well
Buress.
have Hannibal Buress. Yeah, it just makes sense.
That might be,
I don't know if we've ever done.
I don't think we've ever all agreed on one. Ty, cool.
I have Hannibal Buress. It's perfect Hannibal Buress.
It is. In fact, I'd like to remake it just to put Hannibal Buress in that role.
Nice job, boys. That's crazy.
Let's move it on to the bookstore workers that aren't that important. Did anyone have?
Sure.
Did anyone have any of those? Did you have a George?
I did. I had both George and Christina.
Yep. Okay.
I've got them both. I've got all three of them.
My George, I did Alan
George
Alan
first.
Tudyk.
Alan Tudyk.
Redhead. He's Steve the Pirate from Dodgeball.
Ooh, damn, that's better than
mine. He's a character actor that does a lot of the same character work that he would do. They're pretty transferable.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, that works.
Well,
Once
mine's
I saw
gonna
the
suck.
face, I liked that.
And he's such a good character actor too. Mine's dumb, but I thought it would be good. I thought that Philip Seymour Hoffman, and I know you use him too much, but I think he's so versatile.
I put him there too, just because he's kind of maybe that little stoner type of
Yeah.
character.
He plays that burnout.
He can go
worker,
any way he wants with it.
It's Twister.
I put someone a little more awkward. I put Michael Cera.
Ooh, that works. Actually,
kinda works,
all three work, I think, pretty well.
Yeah, in different ways. It's such a small role. He's not even really that funny. I feel like his role could have been funnier, even with any of our recasts.
Could you go as far as in High Fidelity, Jack Black, go even more
Yes,
comedic if you wanted to?
You could go there. Yeah. What about the Christina character? I think we might have a tie on this one. Allison Hannigan.
Greer?
Oh, okay.
Oh, we do not.
I did Allison Hannigan
that's a
from
good one.
How I Met Your Mother / the American Pie series.
Jordan, who'd you say?
I did Judy Greer. You're gonna know her as the background. Yeah, you know who she is. She's
Fatty Magoo from Always Sunny.
Yeah.
Is she?
Yeah.
All right. Well, there. I didn't even know she was in that. There you go.
Mark, who's yours?
All right, Mark. What do you got?
I did Ellie Kemper.
Okay. Yeah,
Oh yeah. See, we're all.
She could almost be the lead too, but maybe not quite. She needs to be bubbly nice. Who'd you have for Birdie?
Mine's Chalk.
Shirley MacLaine.
Ooh, I like that one.
Thank you. Redheaded, short hair, theater actor, and also, I can't even think off the top of my head what her main thing would be.
Oh, I love that. Great. That's great, Cameron. You put some thought into that. I didn't, because I just didn't have this one, so I'm just going to do Julia Childs.
Works. Mark, Jordan, who's yours?
Oh, I did Betty Davis, because she's kind of been on my mind, and I thought she'd be fun in there.
Jinx. Who did you have as Patricia, the girlfriend, Parker Posey?
So I did I think Elizabeth Banks might play this role four times.
That's what I did too.
Okay, so this movie's right in
that
itself.
role well. So I didn't think of that. I had Courtney Cox.
That works too.
I like that for
That's
sure.
That's better than mine because I use Elizabeth Banks all the time, but this might be the most Elizabeth Banks moment for me to actually use it.
I don't use Elizabeth Banks that much, but I'm definitely thinking Wet Hot American Summer Elizabeth Banks.
Yeah, it's such a great Parker Posey kind of. She does that role well, unfortunately.
Oh gosh, she's so good, but just not enough.
Not as a good way, yeah.
Should we move it on to Frank? Mark, I think you're going to like mine. Josh Radnor, also from How I Met Your Mother. He plays the lead.
Yeah, annoying, unlikable.
That's what I'm saying. I think that kind of works.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from there.
It works. I actually did not realize that's what his name was.
Yeah, I kind of forgot.
I took a little bit more of the
in that, right? He's not in anything.
Not
else,
really that I've
not
seen.
That I know of. I took a little bit more of the Tool aspect of it, so I went Joel McHale. What's also interesting is I think Greg Kinnear was the first person to
Joe McHale
to host to host the Soup on E, and then Joe McHale followed him. But they don't have the same thing. But that's what I went with. That. Joe McHale might be too aggressive for the role.
Yeah, maybe.
That's what I went with.
I went with a fucking asshole-ish Phil Hartman.
Okay.
Where's these cookies?
Well, that'd be hilarious.
He could also be Steve Vaughn's role, just some weirdo working in the store. He'd kill it. He's a character.
I also had Steve Colbert in there. I could see.
Ooh, I like that. That actually
some
really good.
Views, I don't know.
Did you guys have any other smaller characters before we get to the main two? I
had a dad, but it was just a dad.
I'm gonna throw out the dad from the Wonder Years off the top of my head.
Nice.
I don't know.
Oh, I didn't come up with a dad. I didn't even think of
Martin Sheen. He's the dad of the nurse. Yeah,
that makes sense to me.
I'm thinking of a
Catch Me Can. Let's move on to Kathleen. Who'd you have?
So I did a duo.
Okay.
I just want to see Emma Stones and Ryan Gosling make one more romantic comedy. Wherever it is, cute. They could do this movie. It'd be great. They've got great chemistry. Throw it out there. That's what I would want.
Okay.
Jordan, I love that.
Mark, you go next because I had two people.
All right. Are we saying both at once?
You don't have to. That's just
I just have two different people.
I needed to say them together because I think much like Tom Hanks, kind of like old Hollywood cinema stars.
Fuck it. I'm doing a duo too. I'm doing Leo and Kate Winslet.
Oh, okay. So you're just keeping big 90s couple. I got you.
That'd be good. Also, it would be way more believable that Leo would be an asshole and live in a boat and dump people and manipulate them and gaslight them.
Okay, I think you guys might like mine. Either Emmy Rossum or Anne Hathaway. I'll take either one. And then that against
Emmy Rossum.
That with Bill Murray.
Oh, that's like Bill Murray. What age are we gonna at least make him? 1970s Bill Murray? Or are we gonna make him 86-year-old Bill Murray?
We'll say it was after Ghostbusters.
All right. I can do that. I do like. I think Bill Murray is more versatile than some people think.
We don't cast Emmy Rossum enough. She's good. I like her.
Hear me out though. I also thought about this of doing a gender reversal and having like Kathleen be like either Tom Holland or Daniel Radcliffe, and then like the Joe would be like Charlize Theron or Nicole Kidman. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, that could easily work.
Oh, I love the role reversal. That's an amazing idea.
I really like the idea of Daniel Radcliffe being the bookstore owner.
I kind of feel like he's more of a Steve Zahn's character.
Yeah, either way, I'd like to see him in there.
He'd be perfect there. I'd like to see him come in like worrying about the world, going to his bookstore job. And whatever that is. You know the dog walker? What movie is that from where he plays the dog walker? Is it Trainwreck or something?
Silverman, maybe?
Yeah. No. Yeah, whatever. I digress. This one was surprisingly, we all recast pretty well movies.
This was a good week for everybody.
Hannibal Buress.
That's the winner. Cheers, social.
Cheers to our recasting this week. We're going to move it on to Mount Rushmore, top 4. Mount Rushmore, top 4. As we've said many times in this episode, this movie seems to depict all seasons very well. So for that, we're doing movies that capture every season. Jordan, you can go first. We'll go Jordan, Mark, me this week. What'd you do for your number 1?
We could pick any one of them, but I'm going to pick specifically Harry Potter 2.
That makes sense.
Fuck you. No way. I don't have anything else.
Okay, then I'll say something else.
I have Harry Potter 2.
You could also say Harry Potter 1, 3, or 4, in my opinion.
Yeah, you can honestly do any of the Harry Potter.
No, it's just 1 through 3. 4, you got your own. It does go through, but you don't get that good Christmas. Yeah, you can go all the way to 4. So, okay, let's take the Harry Potters out of the way. I'm going to send a shout out to Amanda. I'm going to do Meet Me in St. Louis, starring Judy Garland. But
I thought you might
like
do that.
a lot. So here's the deal. There is such a strong Christmas scene in that everybody thinks it's a Christmas movie, but it's really a movie of all seasons. They got a strong Halloween scene, and then it starts in like spring and summer. That's all I'm saying. I'm also going to throw another shout out for the family. 7 Brides for 7 Brothers.
God damn it. You can't stop. You went first. What did you do? You just took everybody's pick.
He's leaking
Just edit it. Okay,
No, we're moving forward.
Over.
Okay, so Jordan just went through the list. We're going to list some honorable mentions now that he destroyed the category.
Sorry.
Hear me out. What about this one? Dead Poet Society. Pretty much anything with school you're going to get.
Any school year you can do.
That's fall.
Very heavy winter. Think of the suicide
They
scene.
have winter. He kills himself in spring.
Yeah.
The end. Okay.
I'm also going to throw out Cider House Rules. That seems to be pretty much every season. Anything that's also farming.
Toss out school tides.
Yeah, anything school. Yeah.
God damn it! I should have gone first.
Well, it's fine. Jordan went first, second, third, and fourth. I got one for you guys. What do you think of this? Heavy Christmas, but Catch Me If You Can.
Ooh, that's a good
definitely
one.
Has,
that is a good.
Definitely summer, definitely winter. I don't know that much about fall.
There's like months that happen in between. So like, what can I just say?
Well, that one,
Boyhood.
I thought about that one too.
I agree with Mark. It should be a caveat that it should be 1 calendar year. It can't span 20 years.
Okay, that makes sense. What about this then? The Patriot.
Ooh,
that gets you.
I mean, that also spans the Revolutionary War.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't know.
Harry Potter maybe does it the best.
Yeah.
Does it do it better than
the early ones at least?
You've Got Mail.
Yeah, because You've Got Mail still seems heavily.
What does
fall.
it the best? Let's talk about that. What does it the best out of the movies you just mentioned?
Okay, so what I think is nice about
Harry Potter 2.
What's nice about Harry Potter 2 is it highlights each season, much like this does with a big scene. So I'd say they're comparable. We just probably like Harry Potter more.
I will say Harry Potter 3 does feature each season with the Whomping Willow, and it actually does hit each one.
The Whomping Willow doesn't change the scene, but what's nice is that Harry Potter starts at the beginning of the school year. The climax of the movie is always at the end, but they're going to give you Halloween and Christmas.
That's true.
So they're like doubling down. They like have important parts during both.
I'm sorry. Harry Potter 2 always makes me think Christmas for some reason. There's like a big Christmas scene.
Harry Potter 1 and 2 have pretty big Christmas and Halloween scenes, kind of. Well, one has more Halloween.
They both kill it. And then always the climax of the book/movie is got to wrap up before school ends because we can't do shit during the summer.
We're not a Harry Potter podcast, but imagine Halloween at fucking Hogwarts. Are you kidding me?
So the older I get, I want to get rich enough to rent out Universal Studios Harry Potter and just throw parties there and like really live it up.
Magical.
You want to be a Joe Fox of Fox Books.
Yeah, FOX. You got it.
Got it.
So let us know if we're missing any movies that also capture the seasons very well. But thanks for listening to our take on You've Got Mail.
Here's a sneaky one for Cameron. Iron Man 3.
That's a Christmas. That's a Christmas movie.
All right,
I've been saying that forever.
Keep moving it. Sorry about that. I interrupt. That was some good fun.
Die Hard. What are we doing now? We're talking about Christmas.
All right.
Thanks for listening to our take on You've Got Mail. If you like what you heard, make sure you like and subscribe on your favorite podcast app. If you want more content out there, make sure you check out the whole Majestic Jam Network, Urban Hermit, Cult Classic Podcast, I'm Not Crazy. And until then, we'll catch you on the next one.